Okay, final video. So this time what we're going to do is some advanced skills, and it's called a resection. So this is where you can relocate yourself if you're lost. Now, if we'd have gone off route from our Wilstead walk and we've found ourselves where we just cannot work out where we are, but what we can see is a church with a tower. We can see some wind. It says 4 winds, but we can see some towers and we think that that's what they are, and then we can see a farm with a road across it. What you're going to do is you're going to take 3 different bearings on those features, and where those lines cross when you plot them, this is called triangulation because of there's 3 points. You're going to triangulate your position, and it's by using something called a resection. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually create a bearing on our feature. So we'd point, so ignoring the map now, we'd point our compass at the feature. So I can see a church tower over that way. So what I'm going to do is I'll twist round. I'll give you a better colour underneath so you can see it. I'm going to twist round our bezel until our orienting lines, these ones, sit underneath red thread. Okay, because we're working in reality, we use red thread. So we're going to put red thread in his red bed. Okay, and it just happens, if I line it up, yeah, it's that way, just there. Okay, so I'm going to point it at my church. I'll twist red thread till he's in his red bed, and he is just perfectly. Okay, and I'll make sure then it's still pointing at the church, and I'm happy with that. You've got to make sure that it's exactly right and that the angle of the compass is flat. The way my video is slightly wonky, but that compass is flat. Then what we'll do is, because we're going from magnetic north, which is what this points to, onto grid north. When we go from mag to grid, we get rid, and there's a 2 degrees difference, and I'll have set somebody as advanced skills to actually research that and to be able to explain it to you, hopefully, in the classroom. So what we're going to do is we need to take off 2 degrees. So we're going from mag to grid, so we get rid. Each of these dials, each of these digits on the dial is 2 degrees, so we're just going to move 1 off just there. Okay. Good stuff. So what we're then going to do is we place our compass on the map. Now we ignore red thread now because we're on grid north rather than magnetic, so he means nothing. And what we do is we line up our orienting lines with the grid lines, and then we move our compass until we're going, our edge of our compass, or one of the those lines, actually lines up with our church. Now in this instance it's worth using the side one, so I'm going to match up just here and make sure these are equal. I'm going to move my compass sideways and I'm going to draw a line along, and I know that because the church is to the north of us that we're south of it. Okay, the next thing we'll do is we'll use our other features. Now I can see 2 big, over this direction here, I can see 2 big towers, and it will probably be those, I think. So what I'll do is I'll twist my compass, and I know they're in that direction over there. So again, I'll line up, I'll twist the bezel round until red thread is in his red bed, and they're just over that way. I'll check to make sure it's pointing correctly. I'd be standing here facing them to make sure that it was accurate. I put red thread in his red bed, and we know it's about that degrees. And if it's southwesterly, that would make sense that it would be, if this is 180, and 90 onto that is 270, isn't it? So it should be around the 240-ish. Yeah, that's okay. So we're going from mag to grid, so we're going to get rid. 1 digit. Again, we do the same thing again. We place our compass on our map, forgetting red thread now. We find our feature, we line our grid line up nice and accurately, and then we draw our line on. So I'm pretty confident now that I'm somewhere in this area here. And then my third one we'll do, putting the lid on so it doesn't go dry, people. Then what we're going to do is do our third one. Now I know that I can see a farm, and I think it's that farm, but I'm not sure, so I'm going to check. I'm going to put red thread in his red bed, pointing it at my farm. I'm comfortable that one's correct. Okay, good stuff. I think actually it's just a bit further, sorry, that was the wrong farm. It's just a bit further over there, my farm is. There we go, I can see it. There we go, it's in those trees just over there. Right, spot the mistake. So, red thread in his red bed, we're going from mag to grid, so we're going to get rid. Okay, then we place on, ignoring red thread, and where our line joins up with the farm, we've got our grid lines. We're going to have to use the underside of this one. Line them up. Where's my grid line? There's my grid line. I've got my farm, move it down, and hey, presto, I am. Look at that. That was perfect. That was good for a guess. Okay, and that's where we're confident that we are as a feature. So we're going from grid to from mag to grid, so we get rid of 2 degrees every time we go from a magnetic north to grid north, and this is called triangulation. And I might ask some of you to try and assist other people in creating this as a bit of advanced skills for distinction standards. Goodbye.